Coming up,
Every generation of the royal family has to reinvent the role for the generation that they serve.
the role of a lifetime.
He's going to bring down to earth wisdom and connection.
That starts with heartbreak.
Following Prince William's unexpected decision, which has everyone talking, Buckingham Palace is buzzing with intrigue. This decision has everyone talking. One of the most important changes that has taken place within the royal family is the approval of a title change for the children of Duchess Sophie. Those with knowledge of the situation disclosed that this courageous action reflects Prince William's vision for a contemporary monarchy that still respects tradition. The sudden announcement has left those who follow the royal family in a state of shock and eagerness to learn more. We are going to take a more in-depth look at this momentous change and discuss the implications it has for the future of the royal family. A royal announcement that shook Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace has been rocked by a decision of seismic proportions, which has caused the building to shake dramatically. Two relatively private royal figures, Lady Louise Windsor and James, Earl of Wessex, have been directly impacted by the approval of a title change that was made by Prince William, the heir to the throne. This is an unprecedented step that has been taken by Prince William. With this move, a significant shift in royal strategy has occurred, one that is in line with William's contemporary vision for the monarchy of the United Kingdom. Over the course of many years, the monarchy has been attempting to strike a delicate balance between preserving traditions that date back hundreds of years and adjusting to the ever-changing requirements of the 21st century. Now that King Charles III is dealing with health issues and the public's perception of the royal family is constantly shifting, Prince William has made the decision to take action. These two young royals, Lady Louise Windsor, who is 20 years old, and James, who is 16 years old, are the only children of Prince Edward, Duke of Edinburgh, and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, and they are at the center of this decision. On the other hand, Louise and James were brought up with a strong emphasis on privacy and personal development, in contrast to their cousins who were born into the spotlight. Rather than bestowing upon them the title of Her Royal Highness, HRH, from birth, their parents made the deliberate decision to refrain from doing so. This decision gave them the opportunity to have a relatively typical upbringing. It would appear that the period of quiet discretion has come to an end, as evidenced by the statement made by Buckingham Palace, which dates back to what seems like only a minute ago. By virtue of this decision, Lady Louise Windsor and James, Earl of Wessex, are acknowledged as members of the royal family who play an important role. It is a step that acknowledges their potential to serve the crown in a modern and evolving monarchy that the Prince of Wales has made a formal recommendation for their increased involvement in royal duties. This recommendation has been approved by His Majesty the King. Despite the fact that the statement is brief, the implications are extremely massive. This decision represents a significant departure from King Charles's previously unyielding stance on the implementation of a reduced monarchy. There was a widespread belief that the King, the Prince of Wales, and Prince George would be the only members of the royal family to bear the majority of royal responsibilities in the years to come. This expectation persisted for many years. Currently, it seems as though the tides are shifting, but at this time, the deteriorating health of King Charles III is a factor, according to those with knowledge of the situation. As a result of Prince William's decreased participation in public engagements, he is now responsible for a greater proportion of royal responsibilities. In the meantime, the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from their royal duties, as well as the aging of senior royals, have resulted in voids that need to be filled. Through the incorporation of Lady Louise and James, William is ensuring that the monarchy does not become overburdened with more responsibilities than it can handle. Particularly significant is the fact that he is making a statement about the future, one that places a premium on faithfulness, quiet service, and a contemporary approach to duty. In spite of this, the move has been met with some opposition. When it comes to the potential implications of this for the future of the royal family, royal experts are divided. There are those who believe that this is merely the beginning of a more significant change in the manner in which royal titles are bestowed and revoked, while others believe that it is a practical step in the process of strengthening the monarchy. One thing is certain, despite the fact that there is so much speculation and debate going on. In a courageous move, Buckingham Palace has taken this action. the inheritance left behind by the Duke of Edinburgh, a title that is steeped in legend. In order to tell the story of Lady Louise and James, it is necessary to delve into the history that lies behind their title, which is that of Grand Duke of Edinburgh. The title is considered to be among the most prestigious in the British royal family. It is intricately connected to the legacy of Prince Philip, who held it for more than 7 decades before he passed away in April of 2021. In 1947, Prince Philip married Elizabeth, who was then the Princess of Wales. In recognition of his Greek and royal ancestry, King George VI bestowed upon him the title of Duke of Edinburgh, which incorporated his marriage to Elizabeth. For more than 7 decades, Prince Philip has made use of his position to advocate for the advancement of education, youth development, and global environmental initiatives. His legacy that will live on the longest is the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, which is a worldwide program that has had a significant impact on the lives of millions of young people. When Prince Philip passed away in 2021, his son Charles, who was the Prince of Wales at the time, automatically inherited the title. Charles immediately became the Prince of Wales. On the other hand, the title was reverted to the crown after Charles ascended to the throne in September of 2022, which created uncertainty regarding the future of the crown. Historically, it had been anticipated and even agreed upon that Prince Edward, Philip's youngest son, would eventually inherit the title. This was the course of events that had been expected. In 1999, Buckingham Palace issued a statement confirming that it was Philip and Queen Elizabeth's desire for Edward to inherit the Dukedom of Edinburgh once it became available. However, King Charles was hesitant to grant this wish. For a period of 6 months following his accession to the throne, Charles thoughtfully considered whether or not he ought to bestow the title upon his younger brother. According to the reports, the king was hesitant to hand it over because he had a vision of a slimmed-down monarchy, which was a plan that aimed to keep only the most senior royals in the spotlight. Nevertheless, on March 10, 2023, after months of speculation, King Charles III officially bestowed the title upon Prince Edward. This decision came as both a relief and a surprise to those who follow the royal family. The official statement issued by Buckingham Palace read as follows: "On the occasion of His Royal Highness's 59th birthday, the King is pleased to bestow the Dukedom of Edinburgh upon Prince Edward. This honor will be bestowed upon His Royal Highness for the entirety of his life. To Prince Edward, who had spent decades supporting his father's charitable causes and assuming a quiet yet dedicated role within the royal family, it was a moment of vindication. He had been a member of the royal family for decades. The decision, however, was accompanied by a stipulation that would have a significant impact on the future of the children of Wessex. In contrast to other hereditary dukedoms, James will not inherit this title, despite the fact that he currently holds the title of Earl of Wessex. Instead, the Dukedom of Edinburgh will be returned to the crown after Prince Edward's death, which will make it possible for it to be redistributed at some point in the future. The experts in royal affairs are of the opinion that Prince Louis, the youngest son of Prince William and Kate, Princess of Wales, is the most likely candidate to receive the honor in the future. This strategic move guarantees that the title will continue to be closely aligned with the direct line of succession if it is maintained. One of the royal heirs who was brought up in the modern era is James, Earl of Wessex. The attention of the public is now being directed towards James Alexander Philip Theo Mountbatten Windsor, who is more commonly referred to as the James Earl of Wessex. This comes as Buckingham Palace prepares for a new kind of era. At just 16 years old, James is the youngest nephew of King Charles III and, as of 2024, stands 16th in line to the British throne, a stark contrast to his position at birth when he was 8th in line during the reign of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. Born on December 17, 2007, James's birth took place at Frimley Park Hospital, a location increasingly associated with royal births due to its accessibility for members of the family living at Bagshot Park. James's birth was kept relatively low profile, particularly in comparison to the highly publicized births of his cousins. This was a reflection of his parents' preference for a more subdued upbringing overall. Despite the fact that he was automatically entitled to a princely title as a result of the 1917 letters patent, his parents, Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, decided against styling him as Prince James. Instead, they gave him the courtesy title Viscount Severn, which was a nod to Sophie's Welsh heritage. In accordance with their larger effort to raise their children away from the intense scrutiny that had traditionally been a problem for younger royals, they made this decision. Throughout a significant portion of his childhood, James made very few appearances in public. First, he received his education at Eagle House School, which is a prestigious preparatory school located in Berkshire. After that, he went on to Radley College, which is a well-known independent school in Oxfordshire that is exclusively for boys. His education has been a major priority for his parents, who have emphatically emphasized the significance of striking a balance between the responsibilities of the royal family and the pursuit of personal growth. However, despite the fact that James may have spent his childhood away from the spotlight, his presence within the royal family was never completely absent. In 2016, he made his first appearance in public at a significant royal event by taking part in the carriage procession that was held during Trooping the Colour. During his later years, he was present at a number of important events, such as the celebrations commemorating Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee in 2022 and the coronation of King Charles III in 2023. Following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in September of 2022, James experienced one of the most profound moments of his young life with the passing of the monarch. At the time, James was only 14 years old when he joined his sister Louise and 6 of his royal cousins in standing vigil around the coffin of their grandmother at Westminster Hall. Despite having a relatively private upbringing, this silent tribute demonstrated that he had a profound sense of duty, demonstrating that he was a young royal with a profound sense of devotion to his family. The most important question that still needs to be answered is whether or not James will assume a formal role in the royal family. The alteration of his title to Earl of Wessex, which occurred not too long ago, is indicative of an increasing recognition of his position within the family. On the other hand, just like his sister, the decision to adopt the HRH styling will be left up to him when he turns 18 in December of 2025. According to those with knowledge of the situation, James's reserved personality is similar to that of his father. It is possible that James will opt for a low-key path, possibly supporting the monarchy in an auxiliary role rather than being a working royal themselves. However, the ever-changing requirements of the royal family, in conjunction with Prince William's strategic efforts to support the younger generation, may play a role in James's ultimate decision. Could Lady Louise Windsor be on her way to becoming a duchess? Lady Louise Windsor has been nothing short of a hidden gem within the royal family. If James, Earl of Wessex, has been brought up with quiet dignity, then Lady Louise Windsor has been similarly raised. Now that Prince William has made the decision to include her in the group, many people are wondering whether this young royal is about to take on a role that is significantly more significant than anyone could have ever imagined. On November 8, 2003, Lady Louise Alice Elizabeth Mary Mountbatten Windsor was born prematurely, and her arrival into the world was marked by extraordinary circumstances. The placental abruption that her mother, Sophie, who was the Countess of Wessex at the time, experienced was a severe complication that resulted in an emergency cesarean section operation being performed at Frimley Park Hospital. During the time that her father, Prince Edward, was on an official visit to Mauritius, he was taken aback by the news of her premature birth. As a result, he hurried back to his home to be with his wife and daughter. Her upbringing was marked by a profound sense of grace and composure, qualities that have made her a favorite among those who follow the royal family. This is despite the fact that she had a troubled beginning to her life. A remarkable humility, on the other hand, was what truly distinguished her from others. Louise's formative years were spent away from the spotlight of the media, in contrast to those of her royal cousins. She attended St. George's School in Windsor before enrolling at St. Mary's School in Ascot. One of the most significant aspects of Louise's life has been the relationship she has maintained with Prince Philip. In comparison to all of his grandchildren, she was arguably the one who was closest to him. She shared his enthusiasm for carriage driving, which was a sport that Philip played throughout his entire life. The fact that Louise was able to inherit her grandfather's driving ponies and carriage was a heartfelt gesture that served to strengthen the profound connection that the two of them shared. Louise's appearances at major royal events, such as Trooping the Colour, Platinum Jubilee celebrations, and the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, demonstrated her poised and composed nature. This was despite the fact that her public profile remained relatively subdued for a number of years. Nevertheless, the fact that she took part in the 15-minute vigil alongside her brother James and their royal cousins while the Queen was lying in state was the event that truly marked a turning point in the situation. The younger generation's respect and admiration for their grandmother, who had passed away, was on full display during this moment, which was both historically significant and intensely personal. Beyond her duties as a member of the royal family, Louise has also made history in her own right. When she obtained a position at a garden center in the year 2022, she made history by becoming the first royal to ever work a summer job. Despite the fact that she was the granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II, she was not above contributing to her own financial well-being, as evidenced by this move, which received widespread praise for its straightforward nature. The month of September 2022 marked Louise's graduation from the University of St. Andrews, where she is currently pursuing a degree in English. Those who are interested in royals have noticed that this is the same university where Prince William first met Catherine, who is now the Princess of Wales. This is an interesting parallel that has not gone unnoticed. However, the most unexpected decision that Louise made was in 2024, when she joined the University Officers Training Corps, also known as the UOTC, of the British Army. This move was regarded as a courageous step because it indicated that she was not only embracing discipline and leadership, but that she was also interested in a potential future military role, which is a field that is traditionally reserved for senior working royals. As a result of Prince William's decision to elevate Louise, many people are starting to speculate about whether or not she will eventually be given the title of Duchess in her own right. Certain authorities contend that due to the fact that she is the direct granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II, she is among the royals who are in the best position to assume a more extensive role in providing support for the monarchy. Louise has already reached the age of 18, and as a result, she retains the right to choose whether or not to adopt her royal title. This is in contrast to James, who will soon be confronted with a decision regarding his HRH status. Despite the fact that her mother Sophie had previously indicated that she would most likely decline, recent events indicate that this is not the case. The Duchess holds a special position within the royal family. However, if we are discussing James and Louise, it would be irresponsible of us to be absent from discussing their mother, the Duchess Sophie. It has been a journey of quiet perseverance and earned respect for her throughout her time spent within the royal family. Since her marriage to Prince Edward in 1999, she has developed into one of the most dependable and well-liked members of the royal family. She is frequently considered to be one of Queen Elizabeth II's closest confidants in her later years. It was common knowledge that she had a formidable relationship with the late Queen. The Queen and Sophie had a particularly close relationship, according to a number of royal insiders. Sophie would frequently accompany the Queen to Windsor Castle for afternoon tea, where they would engage in lengthy conversations about family, duty, and the ever-evolving world of the monarchy. Sophie became a trusted advisor as a result of her close relationship with the royal family, particularly in matters pertaining to the younger generation of royal parents. As a result of her unwavering dedication to charitable causes, diplomatic engagements, and royal duties, she has established herself as a pillar of the royal family. She is a member of the royal family who barely ever makes headlines for controversy, but who consistently receives praise for her hard work. Nevertheless, in spite of the numerous contributions she made, she was disqualified from receiving one title, which had the potential to alter the trajectory of her public identity for all time. In a revelation that has piqued the interest of those who follow the royal family, a courtier revealed that Prince Edward was supposed to become the Duke of Cambridge upon his marriage in the year 1999. The title, which was later bestowed upon Prince William and Princess Kate, was among the most historically significant titles in the British aristocracy. A movie, on the other hand, was the reason why Prince Edward himself decided to go in a different direction, which was a turn of events that very few people could have anticipated. Someone who had worked as an aide in the palace in the past stated that Edward had been watching the movie Shakespeare in Love, which featured a character named the Earl of Wessex. It has been reported that Edward, who was captivated by the sound of the name, approached Queen Elizabeth II and asked if he could succeed her as monarch instead. In a rare instance of indulgence, the Queen granted his request, and as a result, Edward and Sophie were elevated to the position of Earl and Countess of Wessex, rather than holding the title of Duke and Duchess of Cambridge before their marriage. Despite the fact that the decision might have appeared to be unimportant at the time, it ultimately had a significant impact on their entire trajectory within the royal family. It is possible that their profile and responsibilities would have been much more prominent in earlier years if they had been married and given the title of Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Having been elevated to the position of Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, a position that honors the legacy of Prince Philip and comes with a renewed sense of purpose, the legacy of the Queen, and the unwritten will, Sophie and Edward finally hold a ducal title after decades of waiting. As Buckingham Palace continues to adjust to the title changes that Prince William has approved, another aspect of the transition of the monarchy continues to be shrouded in mystery. This aspect is the legacy that Queen Elizabeth II has left behind. A significant portion of the attention that has been paid in recent times has been directed towards the younger generation taking on their respective roles. However, the passing of the late Queen marked an even more significant shift, one that went beyond titles and duties and encompassed inheritance, wealth, and the maintenance of royal tradition. In the history of the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth II holds the record for the longest reigning monarch. She ruled over the crown for 7 decades, during which time she acted as a steadfast support system through wars, societal upheavals, and shifts in public opinion regarding the monarchy. Following her departure, the monarchy found itself at a crossroads, navigating an era of transition and modern adaptation under the reign of King Charles III. This was a predicament that the monarchy found itself in. Queen Elizabeth II's will remained sealed, maintaining royal tradition and ensuring the monarchy's stability. While details are undisclosed, historical precedent offers insight into how her wealth, estimated between £375 million, was distributed. Unlike the £16 billion Crown estate, her private assets, including Sandringham and Balmoral, were expected to pass to King Charles III, with discussions of Prince William eventually inheriting Sandringham. The Queen's vast personal jewelry collection, distinct from the crown jewels, was reportedly distributed strategically. Queen Camilla inherited key pieces, while Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Princess Charlotte received sentimental heirlooms. Prince Harry, though no longer receiving income from the Duchy of Cornwall, may have been left personal mementos. Beyond wealth, the Queen's greatest legacy was her commitment to duty and continuity. Every inheritance, whether financial, symbolic, or historical, was carefully allocated to reinforce the monarchy's future under King Charles III and Prince William. As the institution faces modern scrutiny, these decisions shape not just royal succession, but also public perception of the monarchy's ongoing relevance. In today's world, do you believe that royal titles still carry the same weight as they did long ago? Are you of the opinion that you would have made the same choice as Prince William with regard to the children of Duchess Sophie? Thank you for watching, and don't forget to keep checking back for more fascinating posts about the royal family.